Hi, Carly. Thanks for joining us today on Voices for a Healthy Future. You're a practicing psychologist. Can you tell us a bit more about eco psychology?
Yeah, so eco-psychology is a research field. It's a subspecialty of psychology, and it studies the connection between humans and nature because we are not separate from nature, we are nature. It's
Mhm.
all about repairing that disrupted relationship, encouraging caring, connectedness, contact with nature.
So, climate change is affecting our mental health quite significantly. Are there certain communities that are being impacted more deeply than others in terms of mental health?
Yeah, I think young people, old people, disabled people, First Nations, refugees, other Indigenous people around the world, they're being impacted first and disproportionately. Also, various different countries that live near low-lying island
Mhm.
nations, anything that isn't really the global West is feeling it first and foremost, but no one will escape it.
So, climate change is really having quite a broad ranging effect on mental health. You seem really passionate about climate change. Could you just tell us some of the activities that you're doing on a day to day basis and both how things are impacting you in a clinical setting, as well as some of the extracurricular stuff that you're doing outside of that?
Yeah, so in a clinical setting, I'm noticing how many more young people in particular, but even adults who are fearful about their future, the future of their friends and family, and feeling like nothing is being done in a really meaningful way. The change is
Mm.
far too slow for what we need, and the impacts on their mental health and well-being are disastrous. Yeah, I think people don't necessarily understand the scope and severity of climate change on mental health, and I think putting it in numbers
Mhm.
between about 20% to 50% of people who live through, unpredictable fossil fuel natural disasters and weather events can develop immediate elevated rates of anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, sleep disruption, and suicidal ideation. Think about potentially 50% of people in your community or your state or your town. Um, and then for every one person who experiences a physical injury from a natural hazard, 40 people will experience psychological impacts, which is,
Right.
yeah, massive. All of these things that are disastrous to health and well-being in relationships. And I've felt that myself in the past as well. So
Mm.
what I do is I try to connect to other people, activist groups. I'm in Healthy Futures. It's wonderful. I also do some forest campaigning, and I'm always on the phone. I'm always harassing politicians, just because they work for us. I've electrified my own life. My husband and I really valued that. We were lucky to be able to do that. Yeah, there's a lot that we do. We also engage in, local planting days and local litter pickups and connect to local activist groups as well.
Terrific. Yeah, that's awesome. And for anyone out there who's struggling with this issue, be they health workers tuning in right now or other members of the community, what are some of the things that we can do to nurture and assist ourselves in our own mental health journey?
I think thinking from an eco-psychological perspective, connect back to what sustains you. So get out in nature and remind yourself about the awe and beauty that is inherent everywhere in Australia. We're
Yeah.
such a lucky country in so many ways. Connect to other people who take this stuff seriously and, don't judge you or blame you or shame you for feeling your climate emotions. Attend a climate cafe. They're a structured space delivered by psychology for a safe climate that can be so healing and helpful. And give back what you can, if you can, when you can. Time, money, other resources. I think learn about it and connect with other people who are climate aware and climate informed. Make a strong peer network and then consider what action you can take, in your personal life, in your professional life. Share and contribute evidence-based research because misinformation and disinformation on climate change is rampant everywhere. Acknowledge that it's an emergency and every single voice counts. We need 8 billion climate activists. And, not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. Join Healthy Futures, join other kind of activist groups in whatever capacity you have, and contact state and federal members who you feel aren't doing enough.
And what are some of the things that we can do to better support friends, family, or co-workers that might be struggling in this area?
I think listen to them. You might be the first person that's asked about their climate emotions or their climate concerns. So listen to them. I'm sure that we've all been there
Mm.
before. Then engage in a conversation. These are some of the options that could be available to you if you're interested. Is there anything that you would like to do and talk about Healthy Futures or other campaigns around the world where really, really passionate people are trying to do really, really good work? Um, encourage them that there are climate informed and climate aware health professionals that they can talk to as well for their specific mental health concerns, and encourage them just to maintain their regular activities and hobbies.
What would you like to see our governments doing to better support mental health and challenges that we're facing with climate change at the moment?
I don't think that anyone's mental health is going to be adequately looked after until fossil fuel lobbying is out of politics and they start to actually put policies in to reach real zero way before 2050. Anything before that to me is a bit farcical. So that's what I would like to see, real action on climate change, taking the concerns of people seriously, getting dirty money out of politics, and not just pay lip service to it. That's what I think needs to be done.
Oh, there's a lot of work to be doing. Obviously, we're Healthy Futures. We're trying to do what we can, but we just really appreciate active people like yourself out there that are supporting this work, both in a clinical setting and outside of it. So appreciate it, because we know that obviously the health conversation in the climate action discussion is so important. Thanks so much for your time today, Carly. Really appreciate being able to talk to you. If you've been listening to this and there's anything that has triggered you, please do seek help. It's not too late to talk to somebody, even jump on the phone to Lifeline. Any assistance that we can get with our mental health around this stuff is really important. And maybe if you're seeing ways in which you could better get involved or better support the work around climate change and mental health, please do reach out and be in touch with us. We'd love to be able to help you get this work done.